Camera number 306 of 365 is this rather curious looking 120 film format camera, the Ensign Cupid. And as I say, it's a rather curious looking for one prominent reason, in that it does half frame photos. We'll come back onto that in a moment, but let's just look at some of the outside features. We have our sight that allows us to try and focus or give some idea of where we're pointing our camera. Has a guillotine shutter, which I don't think this is the first of my cameras that actually has that, so we have to lift the shutter mechanism and then we use that. That's the shutter button, and it just falls down basically. So there is a limitation, because if we want to use the camera in landscape mode, which we probably would want to do that, particularly if we're shooting in half frame 120 film format, then by lifting the guillotine, it does kind of depend on gravity for it to work. So I think probably one of the ways I might get over that is by operating the shutter and then covering it over and then actuating the guillotine again, which closes the aperture. So interesting. But to take the film, or mustn't forget the very important feature, the handle, which makes it very there we go. To put film into the camera, we have to open the little latch here, and then we take the whole camera out of the container here. So you can see the film that you put in. So this is the take-up spool, and we put the film in there. So let's just there we go. And then put the film back in. Oops, there we go. And the camera is made predominantly of tin, and have to be careful as we put the film back in. There we go, because that sometimes gets in the way. And then we can close our tin. There we go, and then lock it in place. And then the instructions on the back say wind number 1 to A and expose, then wind it to B and expose. Repeat the process with numbers 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So from a 120 film, we do actually get 16 exposures, but they're going to be half exposures. So I don't know whether you can see that. So we find our next number is number 3. So we expose the film, presumably exposing that part of the film, and then winding it on to B will now expose this part of the film, and then on as we go through the film. So we get 16 exposures from this 120 film. We have a waist level viewfinder, which I think I will have to clean because it is very difficult to see out of those. I think that's pretty much it. So interesting curiosity that intrigues me. Certainly the shape is very interesting. But that's the Ensign Cupid, and that is camera number 306 of 365.